All right, so it's been like a year since I first got my hands on the RG353V, and let me tell you, this little thing is still going strong. I mean, I remember when I pulled it out of the box for the first time, I was all like, wow, this thing is tiny and cute. And now, a year later, I'm still surprised it hasn't, like, completely fallen apart, especially considering how many times I've just, you know, tossed it into my pocket along with my keys. Not exactly gentle with it, I'll admit. Okay, so let's talk about those analog sticks. You remember when I first saw them and I was like, uh, what is happening here? They looked so weird, almost like someone glued them on as an afterthought. Well, yeah, they still look weird. I mean, I can't unsee that. It's like when you spot something off in a photo and now your brain just won't let it go. But honestly, after a year, I'm kind of used to it. Like, do they still look out of place? Sure. But do they ruin the experience? Nah, they actually work pretty well. Even though, let's be real, most of the games I play don't even need both sticks. It's like owning a sports car, but never going over 30 miles per hour. It's nice to have, though, just in case. And the buttons. Oh man, they're still super satisfying. You know that feeling when you click a pen over and over, just for the fun of it? Yeah, that's these buttons. They've got that perfect bounce. And the D-pad? Absolute perfection still. Anbernick, seriously, you deserve a medal for this D-pad. If I could take it out and put it on every device I own, I would. I swear. If I had to pick between this D-pad and, I don't know, Netflix? Yeah, sorry Netflix, you're out. So, the Roslyn screen. A whole year in and, let me tell you, it's still bright and shiny like day one. That 640 by 480 resolution? It's chef's kiss for retro games. And like, the touchscreen works just as smoothly. Navigating through the Android OS, super easy, barely an inconvenience. It's like, wait, this thing was just $112? What is life? I mean, I've spent more on a night out eating overpriced burgers, and they didn't even come with a touchscreen. Ridiculous. Now, let's talk emulation. All the old classics, NES, SNES, Game Boy, still run flawlessly. It's like this thing was built specifically for them. Playing PlayStation 1 games on this thing? Oh man, it still feels like the perfect way to relive those glorious 90s gaming days. The 4:3 display just makes everything look so authentic, you know? Like, it's not exactly how I remember it, but it's close enough to fool my nostalgia-fueled brain. Of course, not everything's perfect. PSP and Dreamcast. Emulation is still kind of, iffy. I mean, I tried to run God of War again recently, and yeah, Kratos is still moving, like he's trying to fight through quicksand. And I know, you can switch to Linux and do some extra tweaking to make it a bit better. But, like, I'm still not a huge fan of all that tinkering. I mean, why should I spend half my gaming time messing around with settings? Can't we just play the thing? I get it. Some people love to tweak and optimize for that extra couple of frames per second, but that's just not me. If I wanted to tinker, I'd take up model airplanes or something. That said, overall, I've got to hand it to Inbernic. The RG353V has held up really well after a whole year. It's still my go-to for retro gaming when I just want to kick back and have some fun without dealing with a ton of nonsense. It's pocket-friendly, it's sturdy, and it still makes me smile when I pick it up. Sure, it's not perfect. Like, they've still got some catching up to do with the Retroid Pocket crowd, but for what it is, it's a solid little device that's earned its place in my retro collection. And hey, if I ever do get tired of gaming on it, I figure it could at least make for a fancy paperweight, right? Multitasking